Updating settings. Start video transmission. And we are live. Theoretically,
Hooray.
the link should be up there at some point. Ooh, I've got chat. And I've got a numbers. Haha. I know it's just us right now. There are no viewers yet.
Yeah.
Sad, sad, sad.
Look, at the very least, we're getting Eleanor because she's been excited. We were going to get Star, then apparently now she can't.
Oh, come on. You guys should be listening to all the hosts of Chaos to join these podcasts.
I
Yes.
stopped trying after a while. It's like, you can't get overused to do anything. It's like pulling
Oh,
teeth.
yeah.
Oki's never around. Artie just forgets. Like,
Yep.
SN and Ash don't care enough. Like, Star was our only hope there, and she just can't this time.
Oh my god.
Do you like my title?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
I was so proud of that.
Oh, man.
I mean that on so many different levels, too.
Right? Oh my god.
Okay, so we've got more than the three of us watching. should we? Should
we
we?
do. We do.
Should we start? I don't know. Oh wait, we still have 1 minute left. So we're ready to start.
Yeah, there's Eleanor.
We'll give a minute.
Oh,
We'll give a
Hi.
minute. Hey, Eleanor.
Hi guys.
Say hi in the chat, guys. Come on. Oh, we've got people coming in. I'm so
Oh.
excited.
This is exciting.
Look, it was a really quiet month last month.
It really was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
It was
Mhm.
just kind of a chat between us and a couple others. It was fun. Who's
Mhm.
excited about the new arc?
Very.
Oh my god.
Very, very, very excited. Oh my
This
goodness.
chapter was like the most exciting chapter for me in a long time.
I
to be
haven't
honest.
been this
It's all
hyped
just
over a
build up.
chapter.
Yeah.
Like, some people that haven't really
Nothing
said
happened.
anything about the new chapters in a long time have come on and been like, oh my god, this chapter.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, imagine if it's like this now, what are we setting up to? What are we really setting up to? This is just a setup chapter, as you
Yeah,
said.
it is all set up.
It's a huge setup chapter, like
is.
none that we've had in a long time. So, oh my
Mhm.
god.
Mm-hmm. So should we get started then?
We can get started. We have a group. We have a group and we have people in chat, so we might as well. Hi guys, I am Otaku Imi,
I'm Taffy or Random Hanako.
And I'm Ness.
and this chapter was freaking wild ride, and I'm really, really excited to talk about it. So, if you
Mhm.
guys have comments, go ahead, chat in the talk in the chat, obviously. And
Mhm.
if you have questions, please try and save them until after we're done summarizing the chapter, because then we can address them one by one. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. So,
Yep.
we might as well
So,
get into it.
I mean, before that, predictions, like any confirmed predictions from last chapter? I don't know if you remember predictions from last.
No,
You
absolutely
don't?
not. This was
Did you-
completely a caught off guard moment.
Yeah.
True.
None of us
I mean,
predicted anything along these
All we
lines.
knew is that we were going into a new arc that had to do with the school festival.
It was down to it not even being Romeo and Juliet, like the play that they're doing. Wizard of Oz, I have never seen that before. I don't know if it's just me. Never have I seen that before in any anime.
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
I have. Where was it? I forget what it was, but it was an older anime that I've seen it in before.
Oh, alright.
Um,
Well, that's
oh, I
just goes
think
to
we
show
did
that
predict that there'd be a play related thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So we did think new arc and we did think maybe a play, but we were talking about a lot of different festival stuff. So like
Oh,
we
yeah,
covered all the
for sure.
ground.
We did.
And we did think Natsuhiko sus, but I think that like every chapter.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
It's a given.
Like a general rule of like the series.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Summary time.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so we start with a flashback. And very,
Oh.
very interesting flashback at that. So it is 2:30 p.m. and people are hustling and bustling. The atmosphere is lovely. We're at a school festival, it seems. And we see that Sikaso is humming. We don't know what he's humming, unfortunately, because I can't read keys. And this is the middle school division first year's stage
Oh,
performance.
we know what he's humming. Someone figured it out. It's Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh,
Oh.
well, okay, that's pretty cool. I was thinking it was the song that he sang when he was baby Sukasa and it was like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was that.
I should be able to read these notes, but I can't. And someone said very confidently that it was Somewhere Over the Rainbow, so I'm like, okay, I'll buy that. It makes sense.
All right, yeah, it does. So, we see a bunch of gears, and we see Sukasa asking Amane if why doesn't he go down there, and why if he wants him to stay, if he wants Sukasa to stay with him here while he works on the clock. And Hanako, unfortunately, he just looks sad. Or should I say Amane? I should say Amane. Yeah, he looks sad. He looks very upset. I'm not sure what exactly he's feeling in these panels here, but Tsukasa asks him if he would just prefer if he disappears. And he says that he has to decide what he wants. And that's the end of the flashback.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about it though. So, obviously, I squealed like a little girl when it became obvious that that was Tsukasa, and you can tell
Yep.
right away because of the little canine, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Even with the
You made it
closed eyes,
obvious.
it's like
Yeah.
obviously that's
Mhm.
him. And something people have noticed a lot is that Amane does not look at all beat up. Like he's
No, he doesn't.
he doesn't look happy, but he's in perfectly fine condition. Like he's not scratched up or injured in any way. And timeline. As far as the timeline goes for when this is happening, it's their first year. Theoretically, this is happening during their first year, and as
Mhm.
far as I remember, these two dying happens when they're in their second year of middle school. So
Mm.
this should
Mhm.
be before that, probably like maybe as much as almost a year before that.
Yeah, quite a bit before.
Mhm. And in Japan, how does it work? You go to the when do you
New
ascend
school
the
year
grade?
starts in March.
March. Okay.
Yeah, so this is late first year, second half of first year.
Okay. Interesting.
Mhm.
So we're back to the modern era. We have Nene here, the heroine of this manga, just in case you didn't know.
In case you
Is she
forgot.
though?
In case. Yeah. And we have Amane. He is without his glasses, surprisingly.
Oh
And
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. He's saying that we have to get the order of business out of the way. And we are going to be discussing the fall festival in the class now. Everyone's excited. And because we know that the school festival is about to begin, and Nene is hopeful, which can never be good. And this is where they announce the Wizard of Oz. That's the school program that they will be playing. And a lot of people are saying that they don't know that one, which
How do you not know that
What?
one? Come on.
they're Japanese,
Nah,
I
nah,
guess.
this kid is uncultured. This one right here who doesn't
Yeah.
know. Look, even the guy next to him is like, come on, it's a classic.
Yeah, right?
Even the people around him isn't impressed. The one with the
But
beautiful witch, right? Says the other boy.
Yeah.
mhm. So Aoi is still Little Miss Perfect, and of course, because she's Little Miss Perfect, she knows all about this Wizard of Oz. And she explains what it is, just in case you guys didn't know. It's about a wizard. It's about a witch named Dorothy, and she is cast. She's whisked away to a magical land by a tornado, and
One
she
of the
makes
oldest
friends.
isekai stories.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, and she makes friends with a scarecrow who wants a brain, a woodman who wants a heart, a lion who wants courage, and she just has their adventures down there, really, in this magical world. Nene is impressed that Aoi knows it,
Ooh,
and
a fun little fact about The Wizard of Oz that I'm just inputting here. It has absolutely nothing to do with the chapter. The
Mhm.
movie The Wizard of Oz that came out
Yeah, I watched
made
the
the
movie.
whole thing a dream, like, it ended with her waking up from this fantastical dream that she had. That's not
Oh,
canon. The actual book, it's like it's really another world. She
oh,
actually got isekai'd. The movie retconned it being all a dream because they didn't think the isekai concept was gonna go over as well with audiences at the time.
Oh my god. That's so
well,
funny.
those audiences were just uncultured.
Of course.
And Nene points out, there's the side panel here that Aoi lets down her hair, so she doesn't have the loops anymore. And we realize now that Aoi has made some changes into Severance, and so has Akane by
Mhm.
losing glasses.
Love that.
I do
So,
love that they've clear like they're both reflecting character growth in the way that they look. Aoi letting her
Mhm.
mhm,
hair down, just being more naturally herself instead of holding everything back, and Akane accepting the part of him that can see supernaturals, like accepting that that's a useful thing instead of trying to hide it.
Mhm.
That's how I interpret that.
mhm. So, Akane is like really upset with the class because he's saying these are the top three choices and majority rules. He's just being angry, and Akane, I guess, he's just, I don't know. He's fine. He's okay. But
Fine.
then we, but then we have the sensei here who I still cannot get. He just comes off to me as a. I can't get over the what is it, chapter 3, where he tells Aoi that they have a meeting or something, and
Oh,
it's just the heart. It's just the heart in the thing that they need to remove. The chat bubble has a heart.
I
And I'm
remember it
like,
was so weird.
Yeah, right?
please remove the heart. Just that. Um,
This teacher has this like snarky deadpan look about him all the time. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't give a
he's
crap.
getting paid. He's getting paid, and that's it. So there are Lemon steps up and he, starts writing down the casts and starts writing down the rules, saying that anyone can be nominate themselves or volunteer or whatever. And then Nani's wondering which part should she pick because she is the heroine of this manga, but sometimes you have to wonder. She comes off sometimes as a background character.
Well, she is a heroine of our manga, but it's never been a question as to whether she's a background character in her own classroom because she absolutely is.
She
Yes,
is.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like always
And
always a star. Like who's kidding themselves? Obviously everyone's going to vote Aoi in as the lead.
Yep.
mhm. And that is confirmed later on, but I'll touch that when we get there. Um, yeah, so a hand touches Nene on her back and asks a question. What do you think is going to happen with the play? Um, so Nene replies that I have to figure it out. And we know that I is going to get the lead, the votes for the lead anyways. And, because the witch is supposed to be pretty. So Nene is wondering if she should volunteer herself, build up some courage and volunteer herself for that role. And the hand, or whatever the person behind the hand, who we have not seen yet, says there's no way, not after that incident, and then it trails off. Nene turns around and there's no one there.
So
We don't
yeah,
know.
so ominous, but obviously it's tied into whatever Amane and Tsukasa were doing back, and we know that for sure because Tsukasa was humming over the rainbow. We know what he was humming. It was the same play. It's gotta be what
Yeah.
they're referring to.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is the
Oh.
podcast.
Oh.
We're learning things during the podcast. Okay, so anyways, um, Nene was wondering what the hell is that about, which is understandable. Now we go to this manga's main character, Hanako, a guy who we have not seen in a very casual light in a very long time, but
I
he's
know.
here.
Look at them. They're
Uh,
just playing old maid. Like,
right? Oh,
ah.
just like old times.
It's been so
Oh
long.
my
She's just
god.
cleaning the bathroom. It's oh, it's such a
Like nothing
throwback.
ever happened at all.
I appreciate. I appreciate the scene so much more now because I know what we just went through and I never thought we'd be back here.
Right?
Right? Oh, I never thought we'd just be back to doing this again.
And just the sheer casualness between the two. We know what happened between these two. We
Right?
were all there for it. And they're just like,
Hmm.
yeah, everything's normal. Everything's fine.
Everything's normal. What do you mean? I
So,
feel like some things changed.
I appreciate so much when relationships don't noticeably change. Like
mhm.
they were already close enough to count.
Yeah, and that's real. That's
Yeah.
realistic. I think
Yeah.
that's realistic.
Yeah, that's what
Mhm.
makes it feel so real and it's beautiful.
Hmm. Hmm. So Nene tells Hanako because technically Hanako is still her boss, so she has to inform him of her activities that she's going to be busy for a while. And Hanako is saying, "Oh, do you have to?" And she says, "Of course." And there's probably some benefit to for them as well because they can run into Sakura, and the whole deal with Sakura
She
being a
might run into
badass.
Sakura. I don't know. Does Sakura actually do any school activities? We've never confirmed this.
Hmm.
I think there was just the one chapter in like the spin-off manga where she was coming back to the broadcast room from what appeared to be a class, and that's the only
Yeah.
indication we've ever had that she goes to class or does any
Hmm.
school things or interacts with the rest of the school in any way.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Nene thought that Hanako would be very excited for a school festival to be happening on school grounds. So he can go. And Hanako says that he doesn't really have any special feelings for festivals. I mean, it makes him feel very lonely because he's a ghost and he can't really interact with people behind the booth and, actually feel the festivities or experience it. And he tells Nene straight up that it just makes him feel more empty inside. Um, Especially when everyone else is having fun except for you. And I think we all know how that feels.
I love the turn in tone here though. He's being serious and genuine for about 5
Hmm.
seconds and then he's sulking.
Classic Hanako. Classic
It really
Hanako.
is.
He says, how was the fireworks party without me? Bet it was fun.
Nene immediately like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
Hmm. And she says that, oh, it was at Cole's house, so we couldn't exactly invite you. But this statement's interesting because I'm wondering if she couldn't invite him because it was Cole's house, Teru and all being uh, supernatural racist.
No, Hanako
Or,
himself is bound to school grounds.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I wish she would be more specific about that, but I think that's probably the reason.
Yeah.
The main
Mhm.
reason. Um, but yes, she invites Hanako to hang out with them at the school festival. And Cole's
Mhm.
going to be there, so they're gonna have fun, and he'll be included. And he just lists a bunch of specific things that he wants to do, which I mean, do you have fun? What's it? Getting served by people in silly costumes, making fun of couples that sneak off, eating rainbow colored cotton candy. Very cute things.
I love the specific second one and make fun of the shameless couples who sneak off to make out with each other.
Yeah, I also like so Nene mentioned that her and Ko will be there, but in all these like imaginary scenarios, it's just Hanako and Nene.
That's true.
I noticed that and I'm like, hmm,
It's a date. Come on, come on. It's a
absolutely.
school
Yes.
festival. Of course it's a date.
Yeah, he wants it to be a date at
Yeah,
least.
and listen, Ko has Mitsuba. I don't know what Nene is trying. Ko has Mitsuba. They're
And it's
fine.
true that Ko specifically promised Mitsuba that
Yep.
they would be hanging out.
Mm,
They
everyone is
promised each
going.
other a date.
Mitsuko
Everyone,
Hananene dates.
everyone is going out with their
School
ghost
festival date.
boyfriend. I don't
Exactly.
understand why Nene
Yes,
hasn't gotten the memo yet. It's simple. It's one, two, three. But anyways,
of course.
Hanako, Hanako is saying, and they write his name on the class T-shirt, and Nene think that's a bit too far. Which I mean, the school is pretty superstitious. I don't see a problem with it. I think it would be pretty
Nah,
funny.
nah, you don't understand the dangers. Have you seen the anime Another?
And yes, I have.
Yeah, you don't wanna accidentally conjure a supernatural being into existence and curse your
Ah,
class so that people die every year.
mm, okay. Okay, makes sense, makes sense.
Especially since supernaturals are a thing here, you never know what'll happen. Don't start rumors.
Yeah. So, Nene says, sure, they can do all those things, but she wants him to help her something first. So they go outside, and the first thing he notices is the place where he fished her out from, which were good times. Those are good times.
Ah, yes, the good old
Great.
days.
Yeah,
Mhm.
referencing a pretty old chapter in comparison.
Hey, hey, you know
Mhm.
what happened right around that chapter?
Oh yeah! What an odd specific thing to note.
It's funny to call back to specifically that time, right
Yeah,
around that thing
crazy.
happened.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But yes, Nene opens somewhere, and we find out that this place is the sealed auditorium, and it's used only once a year for school performances. And it's a very special place because it's just dedicated to that alone. And Hanako is asking a question about this, which I thought was pretty odd because in fact, he should be the one telling Nene this, given the flashback that we just see. But I guess we realize why later on in the chapter.
Can I
Um,
just say though, an
mhm.
auditorium, a sealed auditorium that's only open once a year in a school? What is this?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah,
What in the world?
it's pretty. I thought it was pretty weird too. So Nene says that she's here to pick up some costumes because a senpai sent her here, and um, they need a wardrobe for some references, stuff like that. And she starts playing around with some clothes. Hanako asks, "What's the costumes for Alice in Wonderland?" And this is where things just start getting so cute.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my god.
Uh,
so ladies comes up with an idea. Oh, I know. She picks up the dress and she starts dancing, and she asks him to guess what she's playing based on the lines and her movements. She starts dancing and reciting some quotes from the Wizard of Oz, and it's just so beautiful. She looks like she's having fun twirling around.
The
Hanako
art
grabs
is
her
just
hand.
beautiful,
that's so
beautiful.
I
gorgeous.
know, right? And Hanako grabs her hand as being the smooth guy that he is. When he grabbed her hand, I'm like, smooth.
It really was.
It
I'm
really is
like,
so smooth.
oh, there's that confident
Whoa.
Hanako.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is
Ah.
floating. The Nene said, I wish I could go to a wonderful place like that, somewhere where dreams come true. Hanako grabs her hand and he says, shall I take you there while he's floating in the air?
The art
Using
is
his ghostly
so
float. I
amazing.
swear.
Oh, it was
And the thing,
so pretty.
Uh,
what I noticed from this panel, the imagery, is that they're all just wearing pretend clothes. So it just shows you that although it's a very beautiful panel, it's not real. Um,
Also, this I don't know what it was. I need to go back and look. It had Dear My Living Dead vibes.
uh,
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
specifically that
No, yeah, you're
panel.
right.
Like
Yeah. No, 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 you're right.
yeah, yeah.
You're totally right about that.
Yeah. Hey, Kathy, have you read that yet?
um,
That's what
yes,
I
the
thought.
Wizard of Oz.
It's so short. Oh, how do you
And you know the sad part? I have the actual hard copy of the manga in my bag right
Oh
now.
my god.
I mean, I will. I don't know,
You have
but
no excuse anymore.
I have
You
no
don't.
excuse. I'm sorry. But getting back to the chapter, um, Hanako gets it right. The Wizard of Oz. And Nene looks at it, she's blushing a little
She
bit.
is
She says, "That's
blushing.
So
right."
cute. Oh.
Uh,
And what's funny is that that line isn't even a part of Wizard of Oz. So we just know that he's risen her here. Like he's just being smooth.
we know it's not because Yashida was literally doing a monologue. Like there's no
Mhm.
response to her line
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he's literally just being smooth.
He
Like
Yep.
was.
he's just
Yeah.
being the Riz King.
It was highly effective.
Risking.
And he's like, "It's not?" Like he didn't know that. Come on. And then she's like, "Oh, he's changed the subject right away." So he said, "Did you get the lead role?" He smiles. And she looks at him. She takes her time. She folds up the clothes. She closes her eyes, and she calmly tells him that she's Twister number 4, not Twister number 1, not Twister number 2 or 3,
Just
but Twister number
oh
4.
my
Isn't that
god.
wonderful?
The
That is
comedic
absolutely
timing
wonderful.
in this series is always perfect.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Not listen. I would be fine with Twister number 1. You don't need that many twisters. I'm
Well, if you're
sorry.
gonna lift an entire house, you can't have I wonder if they would do that.
Mm.
Like, if you were doing a play of Wizard of Oz and you had people playing the Twister, would you get the people to, like, physically lift the house and, like, spin it around? I would do that. If I was in charge
Sounds
of that
awesome.
play, I would do that.
Oh my god.
This is what I'm talking about when it emphasizes the fact that Nene is a background character in her own classroom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But Haruka not allowing her to sulk, he says, "What the heck how do you act that?" And
Oh, the
she says,
cuteness.
"My
Oh,
Twister."
it's so cute. Oh, it's so
And
cute.
He's so cute.
he goes and he just starts twisting her around and says, "Oh, like this? What about like this?" And Nene is just all for it. And she's like, "Oh,
I love
please."
how into it she gets because,
Right?
being like, "I'm Twister number 4," that's such, like, a depressing thing to state, and then she just gets into it, like, "This is how you act like a Twister." They're playing, they're having fun. It's
It's so
so
cute.
cute.
I love this.
They're
I
just
love
acting
this
like two
because
normal kids.
their
Crazy.
relationship, you realize that the relationship has changed, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it has changed.
Mhm.
It just grow into something that is more wonderful and
Mhm.
Yeah.
playful.
Mhm.
I love it. But um, he says if you keep twisting like that so passionately, they trip and they fall. Hanako looks visibly more dizzy and exhausted than Nene because she's practicing. She's all twister. Nene asks Hanako in a very pretty panel if he would come and see her play, and he has to promise. Hanako looks at her, he squeezes her hand, but I don't know, he's blushing a bit. He looks a bit unsure, but he says okay.
They are so
They're
cute.
so adorable, the Hananene.
Just
So strong.
lying there together on the ground, holding hands, blushing a little
Right?
bit. Oh,
Oh,
relationship
my
goals.
heart,
I know,
honestly.
right?
Oh my god.
But they stare right up to the ceiling. They're lying down, staring right up to the ceiling, and they see a big clock. No, the next panel is just completely dark, and Hanako gets extremely serious. I'm wondering what the hell is going on. It's just a clock, although, in the first couple of panels, it kind of builds up to this. That clock is not just any old clock. Nene explains that it's been frozen for ages and no one has ever seen it move. Hanako says that he knows, and he was tasked to ensure that the clock was back up and running back when he was alive before the festival was over. And he looks visibly distressed. He casts his head in his hand and he wonders why did he need to do that?
So
It
let's go
looks like
back. Let's go
a
back
need
for
for
a sec. That dark panel that you said with just Hanako's face in it.
Mhm.
I thought the way they drew that was so interesting because they drew Hanako's eyes as blank, which is
Mhm.
like it's such a device, right? When you're drawing that to indicate that like they're not there, like they're seeing something far away, something that's not in front of them.
Mhm.
So that's like obviously he's harkening back to something, but it's something he clearly doesn't seem to fully remember. And a lot of people have been talking about why he doesn't remember, like where's his memory gone, and I'm sure we'll get into more theories about that later on. Um and I just want to like point out again that when you become a supernatural, theoretically a lot of what you were as a human is sacrificed in the process. So the
Yeah.
idea that Hanako would be missing a lot of his human memories is not necessarily anything to do with what happened here. It might just be that he doesn't remember. I just want people
Yeah,
to remember that.
that was my initial thought, that he
Yeah.
just simply didn't remember.
Like, that was something that happened while he was human. Like, he remembers his brother, obviously. That was the
Yeah.
huge thing that, like, and Tsukasa is Yorishiro. Like, that was a huge part of, like, why he's a supernatural, I'm sure. But, like, he might not remember a lot of the details around him being alive.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And the manga just being the type of manga that it is, as soon as we're having fun, we have to remember, we get a grim reminder of something, of the extraordinary details that are about to unfold before us. Um,
Fun.
mhm. So that scene ends with Hanako pondering why did he need to do that. But scene changes again. We're back in the classroom. Akane is being diligent as ever, not as stressed out or miserable as he was before. And someone calls out to him saying that they need to submit a request for an empty classroom. Can't see that person yet. And
You can
Akane says that
see
he was the
his
right person.
bracelets,
Yeah, the
though.
bracelets.
So we get to his bracelets.
Hmm.
And the fact that he's very tall, he's quite tall. But um yes, Akane starts looking into it, and that same person who submitted the request says that there's just one more thing. And he asks Akane if he's the guy who is the lowest of the clock keepers. That's the key word there, the lowest. And he asks, um, did I mention that this is not Natsuhiko yet? I thought, well, that's pretty
Yeah,
much
it's not Natsuhiko.
Natsuhiko, yeah.
Couldn't tell.
That person is Natsuhiko. And he asks Akane essentially to team up. For what? We don't know yet, but we have a feeling. And that's the end of the chapter.
And that's the end of the chapter. So, guys, if you
Mhm.
have questions, start typing them in the comments now while we go over a bit. Um, the the first big question, obviously, is this another Clock Keepers arc? The answer is yes,
Yes,
obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
yes.
absolutely.
so that big clock that's in the auditorium is the same clock that they were talking about when they were first talking about the clock keepers rumor. So I'm gonna see if I can find, because someone posted that rumor like specifically in one of the channels earlier. Here you go. Have you heard the rumor at school mystery number 1, the 3 clock keepers? There's a big, big old clock somewhere in the school. That clock is time itself, the time that flows through the school. If you move the hands of that clock, the school's time is yours to command. But you see, there are guards watching over the clock. They are the 3 clock keepers who represent past, present, and future. If anyone touches the clock without their permission, the 3 clock keepers will steal the time from that person's life.
Hmm.
So,
Mm.
related for sure. Are the clock keepers potentially directly responsible for Amane's death? Is something people have been talking about now.
Yeah.
Potentially
Hmm.
being
I
related.
mean, his fate did change, and they were explaining the fact that time the clock keepers does have the potential to change people's fate,
His fate,
right?
yeah, his fate did change, and I do believe that this, like, whatever happened here is related to why Amane's fate changed. I'm not taking the rumor at face value, though, because none of the rumors have been face
Yeah.
value.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like, there's always something else going on, and, when they say, oh, this bad thing is gonna happen to you, it's never that exact thing that happens. There's always something else going on.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, they were pretty blatant with the clock keepers were shimmering for a while now. It had to be them now. They had to come in the spotlight right now.
Yeah. Alright, someone being like, the clock is time itself, but it's paused. Yes, the clock is paused. The clock is broken. And Amane was clearly trying to fix it. We don't know why, if this was a task he was given or what, or like what was going on there. Um, but clearly he failed because Nene says that it just hasn't worked in many, many, many years. So
Mhm.
he didn't get the clock going again.
Hmm.
So do we think Aoi would try to stop Akane from doing anything to hurt Hanako because she knows of Nene's feelings for him? Um, would Aoi stop Akane from hurting Hanako?
Um,
Uh, I don't know. I, I can't. I'm sorry. Always seems like she forgave Hanako.
I'm
I
not
think
sure Aoi ever really knew there was anything to forgive Hanako for.
yeah, I don't know.
that's true.
I think it would depend on the
Yeah,
situation.
it definitely depends.
So like, I mean, if Aoi felt that Akane was definitely going too far, I'm sure she would step in. But
Yeah.
otherwise, Aoi does like she kind of understands that there are things she doesn't get about the
Mhm.
situation between
Yeah.
Akane and Hanako and everything. Um, so she wouldn't necessarily step in if she thought it was like outside her purview of understanding, but if she thought he was going too far, she probably would say something.
Mhm.
Say something, I say. She would step in.
Okay, so is that pretty much all we have to say about the flashback? Then we have nothing else to add.
About the
In
flashback,
that little piece of flashback there, the beginning
well,
of the chapter. Yeah.
Tsukasa and Amane's relationship specifically, we already touched on the fact that it doesn't look like Hanako's being abused at this point. Tsukasa, though, his wording, the way he's like, or do you want me to just disappear?
Mhm.
It it sure does seem like Tsukasa knows full well that Amane's supposed to kill him and is just trying to push him to make a decision about whether or not he's going to do that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely the thought I had.
Yes. That is pretty much why Sakasa is still here, isn't it? How sick and twisted do you have to be like, oh, I'm going to the future so that my brother can kill me. Oh my god, how would he kill me? How? I'm
Tsukasa
sorry.
levels. You need to be Tsukasa levels
Big
of
castle
twisted.
levels. Like, what is wrong with this kid?
Oh yeah, and V saying like that
Uh,
incident that they talked about gives big someone died the day of the play vibes, and it's like, yeah, uh,
yeah.
absolutely it does. The little ghost tap on Nene's shoulder being like, not after an accident like that. And I'm like,
So,
somebody died or was grievously injured.
so can we just rule the hand? Who is the hand then? Is the hand most likely Sakasa?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it was. Interesting, I'm not sure. Like, when they said accident that happened that day, I don't think that is Tsukasa or Amane that they're talking about.
Hmm.
It's like something else happened, I think, which might be related to who was tapping on the shoulder, mostly because it doesn't really line up with what we know about Tsukasa and Amane's backstory. Like, we know
Mhm.
Tsukasa was murdered by Hanako, we know that a knife was involved. We
Hmm.
Mhm.
know that Hanako killed himself much later than this play is happening.
Yeah.
So it just,
Mhm.
yeah, it just seems like it might be something new. Yeah, white.
Hmm.
Like, I think it might be a new, maybe not a supernatural, like maybe actually a ghost.
Mhm. And the word in here, what's the ghost? I know that it's supposed to seem very mysterious and ominous, but what exactly is a ghost responding to here? It says, "Hey, what do you think is going to happen with the play?" And Nene is just talking about, "Oh, I'm always going to get the leads because she's the lead votes because she's pretty, and maybe Nene will volunteer herself just to see what will happen." And then the ghost replies just then and there, "Yeah, there's no way." Not after that incident. What exactly is the ghost responding to? Is it responding to its own statements, or is it responding to Nene?
That's weird. You're right, because if
Yeah,
he's
it's strange.
responding to Nene, like it really doesn't make sense in response to
Mhm.
what she was saying. Like just
Yeah,
trying out for the lead. There's nothing.
exactly. The ghost knows that there's something more at play here,
Mhm.
It
or there's
it
a
almost
much
feels like
wider intent.
it almost feels like the ghost is part of a separate conversation.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah,
like it's
Like,
like the ghost is in
yeah.
a separate conversation.
Hmm.
but it taps Nene, so it clearly wants Nene's attention.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But you are saying that the incident most likely involves someone dying, right?
Yeah, probably. Just by the way it's phrased, and obviously we're dealing with TBHK, and it's completely within reason to think, oh yeah, somebody died.
Hmm.
That's usually the answer. In every arc, the answer is usually somebody died.
And it's obvious that they're referring back to the incident between probably when Hanako is fixing the the clock. It's
Okay,
probably
yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's the thought I had, V, is that the ghost might not actually be talking to Nene. It's just that the conversation it's having with her happens to generally fit, but then afterwards it doesn't fit because the ghost was responding to something else.
Mhm. And T, that's an
Interesting.
interesting thought, that feeling like Sue set some kind of timer for Amane, and Amane didn't finish it in time. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Tsukasa, obviously. He would put a time limit, and he would force Amane into doing something. Obviously, he's been pressuring Amane to make a decision of
Yeah.
some sort.
Yep.
So that hopefully for some reason this is an actual statement. So that hopefully Amane would kill Tsukasa.
Yeah,
So
hmm
which is what happened. We know that's what happened. But, like, there's still the question at this point if Amane knows that that's what Tsukasa wants from him. Like, if he's trying to stop that, like, how he feels about that. Like, what is going on in that boy's
and
head?
it's a pressure. You have to remember that Hanako is guilty about the fact that he caused Tsukasa's death. So maybe it was something done on impulse,
It
like
might have been.
thinking to how Tsukasa is interacting with him now.
Hmm. Now, that's an interesting thought, George. What if Hanako was a third clock keeper back then? Um, I mean, I suppose it's possible.
It is, yeah.
Like, I don't really think so, but then there's also the thought, like, theoretically only the clock keepers should be able to touch the clock at all, right?
hmm
Um so there's that. And there's also something someone brought up, that it's actually kind of suspicious that Hanako as number 7 is not allowed in number 1's boundary. Like the reason they gave at the time was just he was being pervy, so they didn't let him in, and they're never gonna let him in because he's being pervy. But yeah, like that was a good joke at the time, but what if there is another reason for that? Like if he has a
Hmm.
history with the clock keepers that even Hanako doesn't know about, that he doesn't remember, like it would make more sense that he's just never been in number 1's boundary, despite technically being the leader of the Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did we ever talk about what this chapter is called? The title?
Omen.
Omen?
Omen.
Yeah. I wasn't
Oh
sure if we mentioned that or
I
not.
don't I don't know if we
no, we
mentioned
didn't.
it. I don't think we did.
Talk about it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, just mention that.
Omen. Well, not after that accident. It's probably the Omen. I don't know.
hmm yeah, something to do with that.
But we just know that something bad is going to happen.
We do know what's
It's not
going to
hiding
happen.
it.
hmm
Which brings me to the title of this podcast that I picked. Um, if
Good.
if the key is gonna come back in any arc, this is the one for it to happen, guys. This is
Oh,
it. Our
please.
time
And
is nigh.
they just randomly happened to mention the Little Mermaid arc. Just
They
that one
They
specifically.
brought back the Little Mermaid arc. They're bringing back the Clock Keepers. They're bringing back Amane and Tsukasa specifically within
Like,
that time
oh
frame.
my
Like,
god.
this is it. This is our time. It has to be our time. Like, it has
Please.
to be.
The
I
key
don't
clan.
believe I don't believe that they just referenced Little Mermaid arc offhand for no reason.
Of course, they never would.
Yeah, they never do that for stuff like that for no reason.
Hmm.
I can't believe that the key clan is getting overexcited for this. Can you believe that? My god.
Why would we not?
It's the key.
They
Damn.
reference the arc where the key is like first becomes a thing. Like, come on.
We're not crazy. You're crazy. We're getting the key.
But I do admit when I saw Nene open the auditorium door, I'm like, that's a key.
Oh no,
Hmm.
V's not
Yeah,
remembering the
and
key. No, no, no. V, you gotta remember the key. It's an important part of this podcast. It's like integral to our identity as a podcast. Um, it happened back when Yashiro did her little time travel thing. So she was stuck in that door dimension, and then she found the right door to get back to the school, but it was like in the past, and then Amane was there, and they like passed each other by for like 2 seconds, and Amane ran away, and he dropped a key, and Yashiro picked
yeah.
up the key, and she brought it back with her, and she's had it with her ever since. And it's just been this big thing where it's like, when is it going to become relevant again? We know they can't have forgotten about it. It's got to be relevant again at some
Exactly.
point.
Eh,
And
The
Kathy
fact
doubts
that
us.
and the fact that they're going back to like reference such like specific like past chapters is just like far in the past is like
Mhm.
I'm
they're trying
wondering
to
if
get us to think back.
I'm wondering if I should like slowly start scooting over and getting comfortable with you guys and the Key Clan because
Come on,
You
I'm
really
trying
join
should.
us,
I'm
join
Join
us,
trying
us,
to think
join
about
join
it.
us.
us, join us.
But you know what? I know that I'm representing some people out there, regardless of if it's a minority or whatever. Like, if you guys are with me on the Key doesn't make any sense, clan, just let me know.
It
But
doesn't make any sense.
Eleanor, this flashback we just got in the chapter does take place before the key. Yeah.
Yes.
So, like in this scenario where we saw them, Amane would still have that key.
Which is super interesting.
It is. It's so interesting. So
Who
many things
knows?
could happen. All right,
Yeah.
but moving
Oh
beyond the
my god.
key, guys, if you have any questions beyond the key, please post
Sorry.
them in
I
chat.
was I was just about to mention the fact I was going back to look at the Tea Party arc and like the like the art for like chapter 22 is like super key centric. It's like Amine like dropping the key,
Oh,
like
that's
that
true.
art.
Oh, that art.
And I'm
I
like,
love that art.
I never really thought about it, but it really emphasizes the key.
It really
And
does.
I'm like, hmm. So just going back and seeing that, I'm like,
They
huh.
made a
Wait, what's that? Chapter
whole
22?
page.
Yeah, color page and
Hmm.
everything.
This is a color page. Like, there's no way. It's not relevant.
And that was right
Hmm.
before the Clockkeepers arc.
It was.
Hmm.
Yeah, literally the chapter before I go to the next chapter, and it's yeah.
It was like, it
Hmm.
was the chapter where they introduced the concept of time travel, and then they immediately jumped in with the clockkeepers, being like,
Yep.
hey,
Yeah. Huh.
Huh.
are we converting you, Kathy? Are you finally going to join the
I don't
Church
know.
of the Key?
A
It's
lot of
making
things are lining
it's
up.
making sense. It's making too much sense. But you know what?
Exactly!
I
It's
represent a minority of people out
you're just gonna keep holding on to your stubborn belief.
I love that you're acknowledging that the Key cult is like the majority.
We're yeah, and that we're onto
there.
something.
Well, that's what politicians do, right? We have to be in the opposing. You guys are the opposing party.
I feel like you're
No,
not
I am
supposed
the
to like
opposing
admit.
party.
I think you're not supposed to admit that we're onto something though.
I mean, I
Like
can
you guys
know
are
that
onto
you're onto
something, but I
something,
still
but
disagree.
yes, yes, I disagree.
Okay.
Okay. But we're right, and we're going to be so happy the day that we get to prove you wrong,
Yeah.
definitively.
Yes. Oh
I just
god.
know I'm going to be blushing the entire podcast if that happens.
It's
Not
a
when
good thing we
you.
don't use webcams, isn't it?
Right?
I
What do you
mean,
mean
I'm black.
blushing? Who
You
can,
can't
yeah,
see
no
me
one
blush
can
anyways.
tell.
Oh my god.
You can't see me blush anyways.
You and your blush proof face. All right, so moving beyond the key.
Yes.
Do we have other things we needed to talk about specifically in this chapter?
Uh, I, I, I don't. I mean, yeah, Natsuhiko. We haven't touched on that yet.
We haven't touched on Natsuhiko, so very interesting that he's the one who jumped in here. We haven't seen Tsukasa at all yet, and
Hmm.
after the last arc, it became pretty clear that Sakura and Natsuhiko are kind of acting on their own with Tsukasa's help, kind of deal. Like, Tsukasa's doing his thing, they're doing their thing. As long as those two align, they're a team, it's fine.
Mhm.
But Natsuhiko's acting out here. And the fact that he's going to talk to Akane specifically for the potential of a team up is pretty clear indication that Natsuhiko and Sakura are going after number one Shiro next. That is
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
probably their goal.
Yeah, and then we have to keep in mind that Akane doesn't really like supernaturals, and I don't think he likes his position. Wasn't this position forced on him?
It was.
Kind
He
of.
was tricked
Essentially,
into
yeah.
taking it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. So he doesn't really like supernaturals, and he was forced into position. So he does have um a reason to join up with Natsuhiko if he plans to go against the clockkeepers.
So yeah, like as far as whatever Natsuhiko is offering him, Akane may very much want to join him. Like he might want to get rid of the Yorishiro, except like no, Akane wasn't part of that conversation, so
No,
Akane
he
wouldn't
wasn't.
know that Yashiro's lifespan is tied to the Yorishiros.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to know that like ASAP. If um, I think something's about what's happening with this.
Well, obviously it's
Yeah.
TBHK.
It's not
That could be good.
Sahiko.
It's Natsuhiko and it's TBHK. This is not going to end well for sure. But it's I really want to see Natsuhiko take a more central like role here because
Hmm.
Natsu has like he's been around for a long time, but he doesn't do all that much. He just kind of
Hmm.
he pops in last minute to kind of like bail the characters out of a little bit, or he's there for like comic relief, or he's just there for exposition. He doesn't
Or to be
really
sus.
do much. Yeah,
He
or to
just
Hmm.
be
is sus, but then doesn't do anything.
he is
I
sus,
mean,
like his
the
existence is
most
sus.
Yeah.
yeah, the most he's done is convince Ko and Mitsuba for a sleepover. Like, I think that's the most plot relevant thing that he's done.
Yeah, and that was the night of the severance that happened, and I'm
Yeah, and
sure
that
looking
that was
back,
like nothing
Natsuhiko
really.
knew that was about to happen.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Oh.
really want to see him taking center stage in this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That'd be cool.
But like Sakura stepping in as a central villain too, and oh my gosh, Amane and Tsukasa backstory. I want more
Hmm.
of that. I'm really hoping they keep up with
Please.
more of that. You can't just
Please.
tease us like that, Ida Euro, and then go another year without giving us any
Oh
backstory.
no. Imagine that's like the only little bit we
Oh no, don't do
it's like
it!
everything else is just about the clockkeepers mainly.
The year-long wait where Hanako
Like
wasn't around was bad enough.
that
Please
was
don't make us wait another year
I'm getting
to get more
flashbacks.
backstory.
Wait, what are the plot points that need tying up now? Apart from like Hanako and Tsukasa's backstory, Natsuhiko and Sakura's whole thing going on.
Yeah, we need to know what's going on with them. Why Yashiro's lifespan is tied to the Yorishiros. That's
Right? Yeah,
interesting.
that's
There's
yeah.
still a mystery around her lifespan. And now, like, whatever the deal with the clockkeepers is, that's a mystery going on.
Yep.
Hmm. So they're like the last supernatural, the last numbers that we don't know anything about them, really.
Basically, yeah, it's just number
Yeah.
1 and number 7, obviously.
Yeah.
Hmm. So we need to see Hanako's boundary as well. If well, yeah,
I,
if the bathroom
s-
isn't his boundary, which I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's his boundary, but I
No, yeah.
Yeah.
so, I so want to see Hanako's boundary. I need to know.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god.
But now I really want to see number one's boundary too, because it
Hmm.
sounds like it's related.
And
Yeah.
it was confirmed that Tsukasa is Hanako's Yorishiro, right?
About as confirmed as it possibly could be.
Yeah, without them stating it at
Yeah.
least.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, what else do we have? What else do we have?
Um,
Hananene, so much
Yeah,
Hananene.
Hananene. Oh my god.
do you want the podcast to go on for another hour? What are you talking
Just
about?
talking about Hananene for another hour and how cute they are.
Look, we can. I'm down for that.
Wait, any predictions? Or
We're
just
trying to veer away from the Hananene so we
Mm,
don't get trapped in it. Predictions, like overall story predictions or just next
the-
chapter predictions?
oh, next chapter. Although it's going to be wrong.
Oh,
We can
it's
try.
always wrong.
okay,
Next
just next
chapter.
chapter.
Um, let's see. I don't think we're getting more Amane Tsukasa backstory
No,
in the
yeah, I
next
think that
chapter.
was we just got a little tease, a little hint.
Although we may get Hanako speculating, like maybe they'll look into it. Wouldn't that be so cool if they like go back to Suchi and then they start inquiring about Hanako's past and Hanako's talking about how like there's so much he doesn't remember and there's something going on. Oh, I want them to do some research.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that's
Also,
cool.
yes, more Hananene next chapter. Thank you.
Absolutely. All
That's
the
like
Hananene.
Jesus. Yeah.
Also, I just realized that in this chapter alone, there are four cliffhangers. is going
Hero upping
on?
their game.
Hero knows how to do it. Like, they
When Sukasa asks Amane that he needs to decide if he wants him to disappear or not, then we have the ghost hand that reached out to Nene and she's asking what was that about? And then we have the Hanako saying, "Oh, why can't I remember this thing?" And then we have Natsuhiko saying, "Why don't you want to
Yeah.
team up?"
You're
What is
right.
going on?
That's why I was like, this chapter is all setup
It
because it
is.
sets up so much.
It sets up so much. It opens so many questions and like it's got everyone hyped for what's like coming up.
Exactly.
There
That's
is
why it's
so
so
much.
hype because there's so much to get excited about.
There's so much
Exactly.
to branch off to. So does predictions even make any sense? There's so many directions this can go.
Right, exactly. There's so many things they can do with the next chapter because there's so many things they've opened up.
Exactly. I do want to see more of Akane. That'll be a lot of fun if we do see
Absolutely,
more of
yes.
Akane. Again, I don't know if they're gonna. I feel like I've said something along these lines before. I don't think they'll let us know immediately what Natsuhiko wants of Akane, but
Oh no,
because I'm getting a sense of deja vu that like I've said something like that before and I was wrong, I'm not committing to that.
I
Maybe
don't
they
know.
will. Maybe they'll go right into that
That
conversation.
would be nice. That'd be nice if they did. I'd like that.
That'd be great.
Mhm.
But yes, please bring back Tsuchigamori. I miss him. He's been
Right?
gone longer than
Please.
almost anyone.
Please, please, please.
And what's the I can't remember her name. That's the worst part.
What,
Yako?
Yako?
That's so long. Yeah, Yako. That's so long. Man.
Wow. Forgot Yako's
Oh
name.
yeah, what is number four up to? Like, what's the last thing we remember about number four?
Last thing I remember about number 4 was Tsukasa threatening her into doing something for him.
Yes, that we never got elaboration on afterwards.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
we never
Okay,
Never
found
got
out
that
what she
elaborate.
did.
Yeah.
that's probably going to come up.
That absolutely has to come up. It's
Oh
about as
yeah,
relevant as
for
the
sure.
key
Yeah.
in terms of old things that got teased a long time ago and just left open ended.
One
Exactly.
of them
Crazy how
was
that
in,
works.
that's one of them was a long, long time ago. The other one is doing the picture perfect arc. You don't forget elements
Well,
of the picture perfect
they
arc,
just
right?
referenced they referenced the Little Mermaid arc in this chapter.
So you
Heavy.
know many things happened in the Little Mermaid arc. It's
Heavy.
something.
Heavy.
Nene turned into a whole fish, and you
They
guys were talking about
literally
key,
just
key, key,
referenced a
key, key,
super old chapter in
key,
this
key, key,
chapter.
key, 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 key. Oh my god.
Your argument makes no sense.
I like being the one sitting back just listening to the argument for once. This is fun.
It's ridiculous. How adamant she is.
I don't know. She's just being stubborn. She's learning from her
Yes,
boyfriend.
absolutely, yeah. It's terrible. Like bad influence, absolutely.
Is even here? We gotta give him heck for missing.
No,
True.
he went to sleep.
Oh, we
Oh,
gotta we'll
oh
give him
my
heck.
god. How dare.
But yeah, Ki-kun's return is
Yes,
inevitable, and
it is inevitable. It will return.
But
it's
there's nobody
Ki-kun
a
now.
part of my religion, my political party. No
No,
one.
there is no party. It is just you and your
It's
heretical
you.
views.
Yeah.
I'm the heretic.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You, I believe the burden of proof is on you guys.
Imagine if I was still editing the key into the video every
Oh
time.
my goodness. Well,
I'd be
I wouldn't be
crying right
saying
now.
it as much.
I'd be crying right now.
But yeah, I think we have proof enough.
I think we got off track. What were we talking about? We were talking about predictions for the next chapter.
Yes, we were. That's funny because when we like said like what are the predictions for the next chapter, I jokingly said key like right off the bat, and now we're on this conversation.
Obviously. Obviously. But
But
yeah, I'm not expecting that immediately. Um,
No, yeah.
huh.
does does the clock mean anything? Well, does the the hands on the clock do they mean anything? That
Well,
they're fancy looking. I don't know.
I remember trying to read what time it was stopped at, and I think it's supposed to be like 4:45, but it's really hard to tell because it's a crappy design
It really
clock.
is.
It's
I mean,
awful.
the shorthand is the hour hand. That's what they say. The long hand is the minutes, and the super long hand is the second. So,
Kathy, are you not used to reading clocks like that?
um, no, yes, I am. I can read clocks like that, of course. But it's just that it's been a while. It really has, and I've just realized it. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah, well, that particular clock is terrible. Like
It is really confusingly designed, yeah.
you can't tell where anything is pointing. I don't know how anyone would keep track of time with that thing. It might as well be broken. It'd be useless functional anyways.
Yeah.
It's 4:44 in this.
But yeah, it definitely looks like it's at about 4:45.
About, but like it's hard to tell is what we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks like where it stopped when Hanako was fixing it, yeah. The
Yeah.
second hand is over there. It looks about right, yeah.
Mhm.
So it really hasn't moved. Interesting.
Uh, Eleanor's making fun of you. Okay, so
Wow.
aside from the clock, what else in terms of predictions? What else is there? Well,
Uh,
as far as the upcoming festival, like Ko and Mitsuba are gonna be there, obviously.
yes, absolutely.
They have to be. They just set that
Very
up as a
fun.
thing,
Eleanor, by the way, if you think about it, everything is a conspiracy.
obviously.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
joking, guys. I'm joking.
Okay.
Listen, I'm about to get a drink after this, so I'm just get you ready, okay?
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
losing them.
Okay.
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 Anybody in the comments have predictions for the next chapter?
Yeah. What do you guys
Let us know what you think before we dwell too long on Kathy's, you know, bad
Mitsuko
influence
date.
from her boyfriend. Just to be
Hananene
clear, we
Mitsuko
don't
double
we
date.
don't hate Kathy's boyfriend. We like him. We hang out, but we do like to pick on him a
We
little
make
bit.
fun of him a lot, and it's funny. But I agree, Eleanor. Hananene Mitsuko double date. Nothing goes wrong. Everyone lives. Perfect.
Oh my
Perfect. I
god.
like that. That's a great prediction.
Great prediction.
Oh my god.
100% canon.
What is
Mitsuko
Koge
date.
doing for the festival? He's going on a date with Mitsuba.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will Mitsuba be an emo on the date? Yes, he will.
I don't know. He was pretty happy and go lucky on their aquarium date until he, asked Ko to murder him.
I mean, yeah, and until they fell apart too.
That tends to put a downer on a date when you fall to pieces, literally.
Yeah.
Hana's gonna vanish again.
Because he always leaves when something
Oh my
triggers past
god,
memories.
no, no, don't say that.
He can't. He has to stick around for this one, especially now that we know that he's got, like, gaps in his memory. He's gotta be
Hmm.
curious. Like, he's gotta wonder what that's
Yeah.
about.
Hmm.
And, you've got the excuse if it's gaps in the memories that you don't know to avoid it. Like,
True.
you don't know what
True.
those memories are, or if they're important, or what's going on. Will
Hmm.
Mitsuba die on the festival day? God, I
Die
hope
again.
not.
Oh my god, he's gonna die again.
Mitsuba has died
Wait,
enough. He doesn't need to die again.
I laughed so hard. You can't. Oh
wait,
my god.
where is Tsukasa? Like, is there any idea where he is right now?
No indication. We haven't seen
Nope.
him since the end of
Like,
the last arc.
Yeah,
yeah.
Will they kiss? I really freaking hope so.
me too. Really hope so.
No,
And we still
everybody.
haven't got no confession, did we?
I
We
want
just got the
another Hananene kiss.
Oh, a kiss, please give me another one.
At a better
And also
angle
this
so
time,
that,
yeah, give me a better
angle.
angle.
yeah,
Make it so that people don't think that they might not have kissed.
yes, that's still an argument. There are still people that think they didn't
Oh
kiss.
my god, that
Wait,
doesn't make
why
any
not?
sense.
I don't
I
know. It
don't
was just
know.
the angle.
what else were they doing with their faces in that scene? Like, what? Doesn't make any sense.
Totally normal for two just friends to go, right, like, face to face like that, like, right up close.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, that's yeah.
Immediately after, they did the hug, and then he pulled back just so slightly, and super close. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
There
uh-huh.
was no kiss there, not a chance.
Doesn't make any sense.
Uh,
Media literacy, people, it's important.
yes, Eleanor, you're correct. Zoom in on the lips, just, like,
Never forget how
label it.
important media literacy is.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's really too bad that they don't give you better education on media literacy.
Right? Oh my god.
Could solve a lot of problems that way.
Some people.
Some people.
They only nose nuzzled each other.
Oh my god, please.
No
Is
snuzzle.
that like called like an Eskimo kiss? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's still a kiss.
It's still a kiss.
Still a type of kiss, quote unquote.
We haven't gotten a confession, did we? We'd kind of just jumped the confession part.
Absolutely.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so that would be nice too. That would be nice. But I just see the confession being sad. I'm sorry. Like, it's just gonna be sad. I'll just get
Uh,
that out there. So
I
maybe someone's dying in the background. Some, we won't see anybody again. It's
mhm.
just gonna
someone
happen like that.
someone's dying in the back.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That just made me think like Hanako and Nene are like confessing their feelings to each other and like Mitsuba's just dying in the background
listen,
Oh,
wait,
no!
and goes
did
crying.
That would just be the worst.
It'd be so funny. I laugh so hard.
I mean, I kinda want that fan fiction now. I would
Yeah, I want
read
that
that
fanfiction
fan
so bad.
fiction.
That'd be so funny. Please.
I'd be so
Someone
mad
like
if it
write
happened canonically, but I would
oh,
totally love that fan fiction.
someone write a crack fic about that.
I mean, they were
Please and thank you.
kissing. Meanwhile, number six was massacring like everybody else.
Mhm.
So it's not far fetched,
True.
Yeah.
really.
But I'm thinking of like right in the background, like behind them. Mitsuba's just dying.
You can't even fully see it because the forefront is, like, blocking them.
Oh yeah, but you can kind of see like Mitsuba like suffering.
Ugh. Oh my gosh. Yes, someone write that, please.
Yes, please.
I'm
Oh my
commissioning it
god.
right now.
Will Nene confess first? Huh. I don't know. Hanako seems like the really confident one.
I thought
Like the
they
way
already confessed, didn't they? Well,
Kinda.
Hanako didn't exactly, but Yashida was very clear when she yelled, you know,
Yeah,
"The boy I
yeah,
like,"
that's
right in
true.
his
she
face.
she definitely did,
Mm,
but he did it more through actions than words,
Yes.
yeah.
which makes sense for him.
I think it was very clear. I don't know. I would not be questioning that if that was my relationship.
Oh no, no,
Right,
that's
yeah.
very clear. That's very clear.
No question. All right. Any other thoughts, guys? I think we're over an hour now. It's about time to start winding down.
Hmm.
Yep.
Reminds me of when Ko was fighting while Hananene French kissing. But yeah, I
For like
remember
5
that. I remember
chapters.
that time.
So yeah, Hanako and Nene kissing for
For
5
like 5
chapters
chapters.
straight, yeah.
Oh, that was so
Yeah,
funny. Just the running joke that they were still making out.
I love
yeah.
that every time, just we didn't cut back to them, we're like, "Oh, they're still making out."
As long as we had no proof otherwise, we were going to
Yeah,
assume that they were
right.
still kissing.
Of
Yep.
course, it's reasonable.
That was funny. Oh my gosh. All right. As for the next chapter, when is it coming out? Do we have regular time? Is this
Good question, I don't know.
Yeah, my version of the translation here is not telling me. It cuts
So
off.
yeah,
Same.
D DBS, they didn't do a proper scanlation this time. They just, like, took, an English translation from somewhere else, I think, and it doesn't have, like, what time the next chapter is coming out
Oh
on it.
my gosh.
Yeah, like
Is
this
this one?
So
scans
we'd
look
have to
very
we'd have
low
to look at the
quality.
raws to find out.
Like even Oh my gosh, even the rough translations we have don't say it. Okay. Sorry guys, we'd usually tell you when the next chapter is coming. Until proven otherwise, I'm going to assume that it's the regular time next month.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
see if I can find the Raws real quick and see if
Yeah,
I can
see if we can
look it up.
find that.
And
That's funny.
yeah, no,
Uh,
Sakura and Natsuhiko aren't dating, like, at all.
It's
yeah, no.
confirmed that Sakura doesn't quite see him. I'm not sure she even sees him as a person.
Okay,
Hmm.
it's the 18th. It's normal time.
It is okay, the 18th.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Sakura kind of sees Natsuhiko as like her pet. I don't know. It's like this
Yeah.
useful
Yeah,
tool. Like
probably.
I don't know what they are to each other. She did promise him that like she would go out on a date with him like under very specific circumstances, but it's a
Mhm.
circumstance of like, if everything disappeared or got destroyed or whatnot. So I think Sakura's thought was neither of us are going to be around for that, but like okay, I'll go out with you in that specific scenario.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's important to note that she didn't completely disregard the fact that he can't be there as well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if she knows something about him that we don't.
I don't know. I feel like she definitely must know something about him that we don't, considering she keeps him
Absolutely.
around.
Also, we
Mhm.
barely know anything about him.
That
I
too.
still think that Natsuhiko can take on Terror.
He might be able to. I wouldn't put it
Maybe. Who
past
knows?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natsuhiko's like Terra's the powerhouse, right? He's got the straight power when it comes to fighting, and I feel like Natsuhiko would be the trickster type. Like he's
Yeah.
the Loki
So, mhm.
character who'd be really, really good at just like weaseling his way out of situations.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my thought. All right, but did anyone have closing thoughts they wanted to share?
And there's
Um,
asking about TBHK news. If we heard anything, which
oh
we
yeah,
haven't.
anime news. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Nope. Yeah, nothing new.
No one has
Still
said
don't.
anything. There has been
Why
no
did they even
whispers.
come up with that report? Like, why did they even come up with the that small? I
The
don't even know what to
teaser
call that.
thing.
To make us
Is that a
suffer.
teaser?
That's why.
Yeah, to make us suffer. Yeah.
That's the only reason. They just want us to get excited so that they can make us wait another 5 years for anything to come out of it.
Ah,
Like, it's been 3 months, right,
The
since the
manga's
teaser.
gonna be over before this new anime project comes out.
right?
Are we in the last arc? What do you think?
Mm,
2 more arcs?
Mm,
you know what? We could really be closing in on the last arc because, like, we've got the clockkeepers, which are the last wonder aside from Hanako that have yet to be addressed, like, properly.
Mhm.
And like at the same time, we seem to be closing in on the last chapter of Amane and Tsukasa's backstory there. So like
yeah.
if this
And the
isn't the
things with
last arc,
Sakura.
it might be the second to last arc.
And
Mm,
then the last arc will be Sakura and Natsuhiko, the whole tying up of loose ends there.
Yeah. Yeah, so there could be things going on, but like we could be in the final stretch there. I really do hope the anime project comes out long before that though.
hopefully.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is, like I just want to know what it is. Just a few details. Please tell me
Like,
what to
just,
get excited
yeah.
about.
What are we getting excited about? How am I supposed to get excited if I don't know?
Exactly. All right, but I think that basically wraps it up for this chapter. Um, guys, if you can still have thoughts about this chapter you want to share, just go ahead in the Discord. We've got channels for that. People will chat with you. I'm sure there's still going to be lots of people chatting for the next time, and we will see you next month back here to see where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, normal time, 18th. That's when
Normal
it comes
time
out.
on the 18th, and we'll probably have our podcast on the weekend because that's what we
Yes.
usually do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just so happened that it came out on a Monday this month. So thank you everybody so much for coming